Check, check, check.
There. How we go? He's not starting. I'm starting.
Five, four, three, two, one. Go.
Oh, sometimes I feel like I'm a motherless child. Got nowhere to call my own. Got nowhere to call my own. Have you ever been abused? Beat up and tore down. Have you ever been abused? Beat up and tore down. Oh, sometimes I feel like I can't go on no more. I can't get up, I can't go on no more. I can't go on, oh no more. Have you ever been abused? Beat up and tore down. Have you ever been abused? Beat up and tore down. So I got one more for you. How about that? This song is called Deportee. It was written by Woody Guthrie. And here's my version of it. It's a lot different than Woody's. Crops are all in and the peaches are rotting. The oranges are piled and the creosote down. They are flying me back to the Mexican border. Pay all my money, way back again. Goodbye to my one, goodbye Rosalita. Adios mi amigos, Jesus y Maria. We won't have a name when we ride the big airplane. All they will call us is the deportee. Some of us illegal and some are unwanted. Some of us illegal and most are unwanted. The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon. Fireball of lightning that shook all the hill. You ask who are these friends all scattered like dry leaves. Radio calls us all just deportees. Goodbye to my one, goodbye Rosalita. Adios mi amigos, Jesus y Maria. We won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call us is the deportee. Goodbye to my one, goodbye Rosalita. Adios mi amigos, Jesus y Maria. We won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call us is the deportee. My father's own father waded that river. They took all the money made in his life. My brothers and sisters come work in the fruit trees. Rode the big truck till they took down and died. We died in your hills, we died in your desert. We died in your mountains, we died in your plain. We died beneath your trees, we died in your bushes. Both sides of the river, we died just the same. Goodbye to my one, goodbye Rosalita. Adios mi amigos, Jesus y Maria. We won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call us is the deportee.
Fresno live, downtown Fresno at CMAX Studios, and you've been listening to our local Lance Canales. Wonderful, beautiful. Come on over.
Thank you.
So good to see you. Have a seat. Have a seat. So, Lance, you've been doing this about how long? How many years?
Oh, I don't know, a while. I don't remember
You don't
when I started. I started singing when I was 7.
7?
Yeah, my mom's church. I was 7 years old. I was scared to death.
I bet.
Oh my God. But I couldn't not do it because I always wanted to do this.
Uh-huh.
And then I didn't get a chance to do it until I was like 13 again. And then I was a little older, so I was still really scared. Stage fright was like my worst enemy. I don't get it anymore, though. That's the weird part. I got it all when I was young, and I got over it at 14, 13 years old, and, you know. I do, okay, that's a lie. When no one shows up to my shows and I got to play for like 3 people or 15 people or something, that's when I get nervous. Because, like, if there's 200 people in there, and you half of them like you, that means 100 people like you. If there's 5 people or 10 people, half of them like you, that's a small number. It's like, I can't live with that. I'm like, it makes me nervous. I always get nervous before, and especially I don't get nervous when I'm out ever. I get nervous when I play at home because it's too personal. You know what I mean? I'm from here.
Right.
And nobody likes, you know.
Now, from here, from what city exactly?
Orosi.
Orosi.
Yeah.
Born
I'm
and
a
raised.
Orosi boy. Born and raised. I lived there till I was, you know.
Midwife? To midwife?
What's that?
When you were born?
Midlife? Yeah, you said midwife.
Midwife.
No, I'm not.
No. Did a midwife, because they used my mother?
Yeah.
She was born in Sanger.
I was born in a hospital. It's
you
not
were?
there no more.
Okay.
It's gone.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Dinuba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a terrible hospital. I think I might have slipped out of their hands and fell on the ground or something. That's what happened to me.
Oh, it sounds like a good story.
Yeah, you know. I tried the line where, you know, this like, you know, the blues guy, the hospital where he's born is, you know, not there anymore. It's some sort of mystery, and it didn't work. They're like, no, they went bankrupt.
So when you started off, what were you singing, gospel or?
Yeah. I had no choice. I had to sing. My mom is a holy roller. She's Pentecostal.
Spanish?
No, that's the weird part. My mom went to Pentecostal church, and you know how they're segregated back in the 60s, and
that's right.
So my mom went to the white church. That's the weird part.
Oh, she was fair-skinned like me.
Oh, she's dark.
Oh, she's dark?
She was beautiful.
Oh, interesting.
And when she walked in, everybody's like, we can deal with it. It didn't matter. She's fine. She's
She's
beautiful, yeah. She's beautiful. She makes us look good. My mom is very beautiful. Was, and she is.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
it didn't matter.
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot of extended family. So if you're a cousin and you're close to me, you got moved up. You got moved up to being sibling. And if you're not a cousin, this is my family. If you're not a cousin and you're a friend and you've been around for a long time, you become a cousin.
You become a family member.
Yeah, that's just how it
nice.
is.
So how many miles do you travel a year?
Oh,
singing?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if I go overseas, I mean, that's a big number. But, you know, I think the longest tour I've done in the U.S. is about 6,000 miles, so a little bit more than that. One time going around Chicago.
Lance, can I ask you about your name?
Oh, man, no.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, are you Latino? Are you Chicano?
I'm full-blooded.
Full-blooded. So I don't know too many. I don't know too many Latino Lances.
My mom's Indian, but they fit in with being Mexican. It's easier to fit in to be Mexican than it is to be singled out as being a Native American. It's just a weird thing that happened, and so my mom kind of wanted me to have a name that was kind of signified a little bit of that heritage, but she didn't want it to be. This is one story. Another story is, let me finish one story and I'll tell you the other story. So the first, what she told me one time that she wanted it to sound like an Indian name, but not it be an Indian name. So she named me Lance, which is very, white boy sounding. And I went to school in Orosi, and I'm one of many brown kids in there, and they singled me out thinking that I was not. And I'm like, dude, I'm darker than you guys. How can I be not?
And
you know what I mean?
Spanish, or you?
Poquito, a little bit.
Okay.
There's another problem that, see, my dad's family is from the U.S., and when the U.S. became part of the U.S. from Mexico, that's when we got changed over. So
the border crossed you, right?
Yeah, the border crossed my mom. Obviously, the border crossed us too. But the thing is that they got beat in school. They were hurt really bad, and so
that was the 40s.
Yeah, the 40s.
Right.
And so they didn't want us to learn to have a hard time in school. So they didn't teach us Spanish, and then we got older, and then we didn't learn it. And I took Spanish like 3 years, and all 3 years it was from a white person. It's the most devastating thing ever. I was like, oh my God, I have to learn this from a white person. And no offense, but I want to learn it from my own people. Yeah, I'm still struggling with Spanish.
Do you have any Spanish songs that you do? I mean, your emotion is so beautiful.
You know, my favorite kind of music is jarocho.
Jarocho. What's jarocho?
It's Veracruz music.
Okay, yeah.
It's oh my God, it just hits me, right? The way blues does. You know, I don't know. I think when I get older, I think I'm gonna start. I'll probably just do a whole album of just sing with the mariachi band and just have them all just, you know what I mean? That's the instrumentation instead of it being, whatever.
Right.
When you're singing, I just saw so much emotion coming out. Where do you derive your inspiration?
Hurt, you know? Like I was singing, that first song was Beat Up Blues, and I wrote that song because, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, no matter how much money you got, or if you're poor or you're rich, blues is blues. I mean, you're gonna be sad. You're gonna be sad. You can be depressed and not even know why. You know what I mean? That depression has nothing to do with race or you know, status, or, you know, if you're rich or poor, it doesn't matter. You know, I tell people, like, you know, I got white people problems right now. You know what I mean? Because I have all these things. You know what I mean? And it's not real problems, but I still get depressed. You know, so Beat Up Blues is, you know, it's like the past experiences of life and, you know, loss. You know, we lost a lot of my family lost a lot of people this last year. A lot of people have been losing a lot of people.
Right.
I mean, they're just dropping left and right. You know what I mean? It's like the flag should be half mast. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like so many people, but I think that for me, is coming from whenever I put the guitar in my hands and I do that. For me, it's not just a release, but it's a way to kind of connect with somebody who might get moved by it on the other end. And if I can do that and still maintain it in myself, and you know what I mean, like I can affect somebody without even having to go to them and do anything. I can just be myself, and then they experience something where they're sitting or standing, and then my job is done.
And it's something that crosses, like you said, you know, culture, barriers, even language. You say you tour in Europe sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't even speak English sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, they speak like 4 languages or 5 languages. Some of those people are, I mean, Americans are very, it's very disturbing when they don't, when, you know, how many languages you speak? 1. You know, I don't even speak my own language.
We're the only country like that.
Yeah, and everybody, we're the only country that has everybody. I don't understand. We should all speak all the languages.
That's right, especially here
especially
in this
Spanish.
area.
Yeah,
Right.
Spanish should not be shunned. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is.
Right. Our schools should embrace that, because the more the more mental gymnastics, the more the serotonin and all those little
Absolutely.
attachments occur.
But like,
Plus, you learn more about other people and their culture too.
Definitely. The irony, though, like you're saying, is that America is known to be a place where many different cultures come, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have every culture possible.
Everybody.
But then, you know, once you've been here for one generation, everything gets distilled where we just speak one language, where in other places like Europe or in Africa, other places, they're learning multiple languages.
Yes. They learn their own language, and they keep their own language, and they maintain
because they value the enrichment that comes from multicultural.
Yeah.
So then what it is, our structure needs to change to embrace all of our cultures, because we are a multicultural country.
It's very strange that the country that is a multicultural country, but also an immigrant country, there's only one language being spoken in our country. I don't understand that. I mean, there should be one language that everybody does. So it says, you know, we learn that, but we shouldn't really put down other languages, and we do.
No.
It's a funny thing. Do you ever notice people talking louder to you when you have an accent? Like if you had broken English,
right?
And
I've
us two were trying to have a conversation with you, they speak louder, as if that louder is going to make you understand
what's going on.
It's funny because if you have an accent, that means you have an accent. That means you speak 2 different languages. You're already smarter than me, and I'm going to shun you for speaking 2.
So I'm interested.
I don't understand the logic.
People talk, people's voices get louder, get smaller, different inflections. In the English, we have actually a lot of limitations. For example, in Greek, there's so many different words for the word love. In English, we just have one word, right? When you're singing, when you are trying to make some changes in your voices, I'm curious, like how much you use your inflection or your loudness to evoke different emotions.
Oh, that's actually it's really cool, because like when you whisper something in the microphone, it's almost like they're listening more, and when you yell into the microphone, they're listening to you less. But if you do it in such a way that you can it is letting out emotion when you are quiet, or when you're singing louder, it grabs them. The emotion grabs them. The not the release, but what you're projecting, because they could feel that. It's the weirdest thing. If you're playing and you're into it, they're going to be drawn into it. If I'm sitting there going, and I'm singing soft, or I'm singing real loud, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not putting heart into it. I'm not putting emotion into it. I'm not putting myself into it. If I put myself into it, that changes everything. It doesn't matter how loud or how quiet I am.
Because we're animals. We sense each other's...
Yeah, we have the emotion. You can feel it coming up in me, and then you feel it coming up in you. It's kind of crazy.
So do you have a name for your...
guitar?
Leroy. Tell us about her.
This is Leroy. It's a man.
It's a man. It's a man guitar.
It's a man.
Okay.
I go to war with a man.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've had this guitar for a really long time.
So how do you know it's a man guitar?
I don't know. I just named it Leroy. It's just the name. I looked at it and the name popped in my head. And Leroy's black. Leroy's a black. He's a black man.
He's a black guitar.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a black man. He looks like a regular guitar, but there's a black man soul in it.
And what about the hair? So you have some crazy hair.
I always break the strings on it. Okay. So every time I break a string, I just replace it, and I don't fix because I don't have
afro.
Yeah, this is his wildness. This is his.
Cool.
Yeah,
so do you use different types of guitars, or just?
I have a bunch of guitars, but this is the one
Your favorite?
This is the one I play most all my shows, tour around with. It's the workhorse. It's the one that is a special guitar. It just is.
Why is it special? Where'd you get it? I mean, like,
okay. Well, so I've been looking for this type of guitar for a really long time, about 10 years. And it was about 12 years ago. And I walked into a music store, and this is the body style that I wanted. And it was hanging it had been in that store a couple of times and never seen it. But they had just hung up on that day, and I walked into the music store to hang a poster. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and something hit me. I was like, I need to go play this guitar. So I ran over there and I picked it up, and I started playing it, and I just knew.
That was forever.
Yeah, and when I strummed the strings, I knew. I was like, oh man, and it vibrates. The whole guitar vibrates throughout the whole thing. So it was alive, and I was like, okay.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what the word Leroy means in French? It's pronounced le roi.
What does that mean?
And it means king.
Ah, it's a king. There it is.
There
it means
you go.
king.
The king.
You're playing with the king.
I'm playing with the king. There it is.
So your genre is a blend of...
Yeah, it's kind of we call it Americana. Americana music. I'm over here being weird. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
swore I was never going to be one of those weird people that goes on TV, but I think I am now.
You're
That's
fine.
okay. We love your hats. We love everything about you.
I'm not bald, just so you know. I had a lady ask me that one time at a music festival, and I swear to God, I thought, man, if I asked her, she goes, can I ask you a question? I was like, sure. She goes, are you bald? I said, no. She goes, really? I said, and I took my hat off. She was like, oh, thank God. I go, what if I was? You would feel real bad, wouldn't you? She goes, no. Okay.
Tell us, what is this?
Funny.
What is this thing you have?
This is a
right
slide. It's a piece of copper. You can, you had a question too, didn't you? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
This slides up and down. It changes the...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the first people that kind of did this was the Hawaiians.
Really?
Yeah. And there was a railroad spike, and a guy had a guitar, and the first guitar was brought by Mexican vaqueros from Mexico.
To Hawaii?
To Hawaii. So they brought the guitar.
Wow.
We've been all over the place.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Tacos for sure.
Oh my God.
There you go.
I know. And then one of the Native Hawaiian guys had the guitar, And I think he had, somehow it hit the strings and did something weird, and he was like, oh, and then he started doing it. And that's where that music, the
That's
slide
cool.
came
Oh,
from.
okay. That
Started with
I hadn't
Mexican
seen that
vaqueros.
before. The use of that. So
Use it a lot in blues.
so it helps a lot with the
Yeah,
tone.
yeah. Because what you do is when you slide it up,
That really.
It enhances it.
And in case you ever need to use it as a weapon, you're ready to go.
right there, I can put it right there.
Here.
Bam!
So do you have local gigs that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm playing Goldstein's Mortuary in Delicatessen on the 20th. It's a Friday.
This month.
This month, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm doing a fundraiser for incarcerated women on the 13th of October. I'm playing at Gazebo Gardens. I haven't played in Gazebo Gardens in a really long time.
Good for you. Is that a
So-
good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's just it's hard for me to play a lot
Right.
around here, and I've always liked Gazebo. I like the people and I like the atmosphere. It's family.
Nice
And
environment.
this thing is called Sages Not Cages, and they do it's a fundraiser for the program that they do at Chowchilla Prison and a few other women's prisons, and they introduce agriculture and horticulture and stuff like that to women, so that we're raising money to kind of keep the program going.
Oh, okay,
So.
good. Is that the one where they get the parents, the moms with the children, get
I
them
don't
together?
know.
Because I know another gal, she was working with the ladies
Yeah.
in prison like that. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure they do some.
So are we going to have you around our town for a little while? Are you
I'm
gonna
here
be
till the end of the year, and I think then I'm going to be touring hit and miss a little bit. And
Where's
then
your favorite European spot?
I like Holland. It's big over there. Americana is big over there.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you asked me. What kind of music am my
Yes.
music? My music is a kind of a cross between rock, because it's got a lot of energy in it, blues, because I play a lot of those type of blues, and folk, country. Americana is like influenced by all the American roots music. When America got unsegregated, people started listening to music from all different genres, and so we all got influenced. Our generation got influenced by that, and now we play all different styles.
Okay.
So we play rock, we play folk, we play, you can find, there's a little bit of, my mom's influenced the gospel in there, and there's a little bit of punk
Your
rock
mom
in
and
there.
my mom.
Yeah.
So I have one question, or I'd like you to reach out to our audience and encourage those individuals that are starting on this journey of being a musician or considering it. What would you let them know? What would you do? What's the one sentence you could encourage them to continue?
Never, if it's your passion, never, ever give up. And you have to practice. You can't be on top without practicing. You can't get good without it. And never let anyone tell you you can't.
Okay.
Ever.
And then, and when you go knocking on those doors where you think you feel like you want to perform in that place, what would you let them know to do?
Well, any place that you play, they want to see numbers. They want to know that you're going to bring people in.
Right.
So so I think would be basically it. Do the footwork to get people to come. Put out the posters, do all that stuff. Let them know that you're going to do all of that.
Okay.
And then when your shot is, make sure that you get people there.
So give us an ending note. Lance Canales is?
What? Happy?
Excited.
Excited. Proud to be brown, y'all.
Central California.
Central, born and raised. Never. I travel everywhere else, but I come home here.
This is home.
This is home. This is
where
always
your
going to be
heart-
home. This is my heart. This is my heart. This is it. This is it. I'll go home. I'll come home to here, but I'll go everywhere else. But I'll come home to here.
This is it.
This is it.
This is everyone. Love. Lance Canales.
Lance Canales,
September
thank you.
20th
Goldstein's.
at Goldstein's. Come on out. Have an opportunity until the end of the year. We have to support our own.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
out and singing.
Thanks, man.
And we're starting Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yay.
Keep watching. We
Is
have
there 31 days? Because we need the whole 31 days.
No,
You can't do the 28
I
days.
started ahead of time. It's only
Okay.
supposed to start at the 15th of
All right.
September, but I start at the beginning of September and the 15th of October. We have a lot of Mexicanos here,
Yeah, we do.
and they're all.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.